Confucius is known as one of the most important thinkers in history. He was a philosopher, teacher, and political figure whose ideas changed Chinese culture and influenced much of East Asia. His teachings laid the foundation for Confucianism, a way of thinking that has helped shape governments, families, and societies for over 2,000 years. To truly understand how Confucius impacted the world, let's explore his life and see how his experiences and ideas made such a big difference. Confucius was born in 551 BCE in a small state called Lu, which is in modern-day China. His real name was Confucius, and he lived during a time when there was a lot of fighting and political chaos. His father, a military officer, died when Confucius was just 3 years old, and his mother raised him in poverty. Despite these tough times, Confucius had a deep love for learning from a young age. At that time, China was divided into several warring states, and rulers often used violence to stay in power. Confucius saw the suffering and the moral decay around him, and he dreamed of a society where peace and order were restored, not by force, but through ethical behavior and virtuous leadership. As he grew older, Confucius sought knowledge everywhere he could. He studied history, poetry, music, and rituals, all of which would later shape his philosophy. However, his main focus was on ethics, what's right and wrong, and how people should live their lives. At the age of 30, Confucius began teaching. Unlike many teachers of his time, who only taught the rich, Confucius believed that education should be available to everyone, no matter their background or social class. This was a revolutionary idea at the time, as he believed that through learning, anyone could improve themselves and become a better person. Confucius didn't just teach facts, he encouraged his students to think for themselves and to focus on improving their moral character. One of his famous sayings is, "By 3 methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the hardest." His goal was to help people become not only smart but also virtuous. He believed that education had the power to create morally good individuals who could then make society more peaceful and just. At the heart of Confucius' teachings is the idea of run, which means humaneness or benevolence. He believed that people should treat others with kindness, empathy, and respect. Central to this idea is the Golden Rule, which Confucius expressed as, "Do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself." This idea of treating others with respect has influenced cultures all over the world. Another important part of Confucius' philosophy is filial piety, or shao, which means respecting and obeying your parents and ancestors. Confucius believed that strong family relationships were the foundation of a stable society. If families were harmonious, then that peace would spread to the community and society as a whole. Confucius also believed in the importance of rituals and traditions. He thought that following proper conduct in ceremonies, social interactions, and governance helped maintain respect and social order. In addition to his focus on individual morality, Confucius had strong ideas about leadership and government. He believed that rulers should lead by example and govern with virtue, not through fear or force. A famous quote of his is, "He who rules by virtue is like the North Star, it stays in its place, and the multitude of stars pay homage to it." In other words, a good ruler should be like the North Star, guiding others through his own moral actions. During his lifetime, Confucius traveled around China, offering advice to rulers and trying to spread his ideas. However, his ideas were not widely accepted while he was alive, and he often felt frustrated. After his death in 479 BCE, at the age of 72, his followers collected his teachings in a book called the Analects, which later became one of the most important texts in Chinese history. Over time, Confucianism became the dominant philosophy in China and influenced other countries like Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. It shaped everything from family structures to government policies for thousands of years. Even the imperial examination system used to select government officials was based on Confucian ideas. Confucius' teachings are still relevant today. His emphasis on ethics, respect for family, and the importance of education continues to inspire people all over the world. In modern China, Confucianism is seeing a comeback as people look to the past for guidance in solving today's problems. His ideas about leadership and morality are still important for political and business leaders today. In a world filled with challenges and conflict, Confucius' message of treating others with kindness, respect, and ethical leadership remains a timeless reminder of how we can all contribute to a better society. His life is a powerful example of how one person's commitment to education and moral improvement can leave a lasting impact on the world.